What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today when I talked about the top 5 most heavily shorted EV stocks in the market as of right now. So I want to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, I just wanted to mention I'm only going to be covering stocks that have a 100 mil market cap or greater. Anything below 100 mil, it kind of gets sticky, a lot of dilution. And of course, if dilution is happening behind the scenes, it skews the short interest percentage. So again, I just wanted to kind of show you that this is kind of the breaking point. Anything below ticker GGR is not going to be included. So getting right to stock number 5, you have Polestar. Sitting at 84 cents over the last 1 year, down 23.88%, and then over the last 1 month, down 11.6%. So not really doing that great. In this video, I'm not going to go over some of the quantitative data, but you can kind of see from here, right, it has 1.65. So that does signal as a sell. Wall Street analysts have it as a hold on average, 2.66, and then Seeking Alpha analysts have it as a sell. But we're not here because of that. We are here because of this. So 9.62% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 37.1 million shares overall being shorted. One thing I do want to bring up with Polestar is DTC is 9.53 days. That is just mind-blowing. So that does really signal that shorts are massively overextended with this stock. And one thing as well, DTC does factor in the average volume for Polestar in comparison to number of shares being shorted. So shorts have really doubled down in kind of the November onwards throughout the whole rest of the year. And it recently did have a all-time high short interest of roughly 12.02%, and that was done ultimately in August, so August the 19th. So shorts are feeling very, very confident with Polestar. Of course, I don't think things have really gone according to plan operationally for them, and them switching to the semi-annual earnings doesn't really help all that much. But if they do put out a crazy good catalyst, you could see shorts stuck a little bit. Cost to borrow average 14.99. That is a annual rate, not a daily rate. So again, something to keep in mind. And then there's about 350,000 shares available to be shorted. Reason why I bring that up is whenever you see a stock with limited supply, you could see some buying from big money just for the purposes of lending out it later down the line. So whenever you see a stock limited supply, so 350,000 is kind of hit and miss a little bit. So potentially over the next couple of weeks, you could be seeing some big money actually getting into Polestar, again, just for the purposes of lending out stock. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. But nonetheless, Polestar is stock number 5. Moving on to stock number 4, you have good old NIO sitting at 7.25. Very interesting stock, definitely over the last week and a half. It's been really flirting around that $7 range. Of course, I do cover that on this channel quite extensively every single day for the most part. Over the last 1 year, though, it is up 42.16%. And then over the last 1 month, like I said, very stagnant. So it is down about 5%. So we do have their monthly numbers coming out right around the corner. So that should be a pretty good catalyst to really propel it higher. Aside from that, 10.4% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 143.99 million shares overall being shorted. And as you can kind of tell from the pink line right here, shorts have been starting to really return quite a lot ever since October the 14th, so roughly the second week of October. So kind of a good thing. We might be testing the kind of yearly lows, which did hit in September, and that was roughly about 9.7%. Cost to borrow average is 1%, so fairly cheap stuff. DTC sitting at 1.81 days, so that does signal that shorts are overextended, not by any means to the same magnitude as Polestar, but still does signal that shorts are rather overextended. And then through IBKR does indicate that there's more than 10 million shares available to be shorted. So most likely you won't be seeing any buying just for the purposes of lending out stock. So NIO is stock number 4. Moving on to stock number 3, you have good old Rivian sitting at 13.57. Friday alone went up 4.46%, so gaining a little bit of traction. Over the last 1 year, it is up 34.36%, and then over the last 1 month, down 8.96%. So the whole EV sector, American EV sector, has been kind of all over the place. You have Trump giving some optimistic kind of points, and then he kind of pulls back. So it is a very difficult kind of sector to thrive in lately. Aside from that, though, 20.18% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 160.12 million shares overall are being shorted. So we recently did have, it looks like, a all-time high short interest of 21%, and that was just done on October the 21st. So shorts are getting very, very bold. Over the last couple of trading days, they've returned a little bit, but still, it goes to show that shorts are very, very confident. And there's a lot of different various fears in the market right now, but I think generally this is kind of putting shorts in a difficult bind because, of course, things could change just like that. We've seen that time and time again in the market. You go from extreme fear to extreme greed in a span of like a week. It's kind of crazy. And DTC, even in Rivian's case, is sitting at 3.69 days. So again, signaling that shorts are very, very overextended. Cost to borrow average, fairly low, so 1.1%. Short score, higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is sitting at 67.4. And then through IBKR does indicate 3.7 million shares. So especially with the cost to borrow being fairly low, you won't really be seeing that much institutions really lining up to buy Rivian just to lend out. But if things heat up a little bit, that could be something that does play out. Moving on to stock number 2, you have Faraday Future sitting at 138. Over the last 1 year, it is down 32.68%. Then over the last 1 month, it is up 2.2%. So this stock has been very volatile, so a pretty good swing trade in my opinion. Aside from that though, 22.84% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 32.08 million shares. Cost to borrow average is 13.83. DTC 2.91 days. So pretty much all the stocks I've brought up, shorts are very overextended. Short score 76.57, and you can kind of see from here this pink line, shorts have really returned quite a lot since January. So at that time, short interest was 56.84. So shorts definitely have been helping the stock price really move higher because with shorts returning, they're adding buying pressure, and shorts still do make up a good chunk of the daily volume with this stock, almost about 30 to 40%. And in similar case for a lot of the other stocks I did bring up. But shorts returning definitely is something to take note of. And right now, about 4.6 million shares is available to be shorted. So potentially you might be seeing some buying in the foreseeable future, probably not immediately, but something as well, like I said, just to kind of keep in mind. And then moving on to stock number 1. Pretty much ever since I started to do this series, it's always been the same stock, and that is Lucid Motors, or Lucid Group, I guess. Sitting at 17.75 over the last 1 year, it is down 19.68%, and then over the last 1 month alone, down 25.68%. So this stock definitely has been struggling. Even though there hasn't really been that much in news coming out associated to Lucid, you've seen shorts be very, very bold. And so for instance, 31.32% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 39.76 million shares overall being shorted. DTC 4.04 days, so very overextended stuff. Short score 77.57, cost to borrow average 14.77, and shorts honestly for the greater part of 2025 has been lingering above 30%. And it's crazy because if you actually looked at this, you would assume that this stock is dormant and that they're not really doing anything. And I look at quite a few different stocks on a daily basis, and I can honestly say there is absolutely stocks out there that do nothing, produce nothing, and have a substantially lower short interest than this right here. So crazy stuff if you ask me. Aside from that, when it comes down to this, you do see roughly around 6,000 shares available. So very limited supply. And this is a good example how it always jumps from, for instance, 40 to 6,000. That means a institution did buy roughly around 5.5 thousand just to kind of lend out. And so happens quite a lot, but still going into this upcoming week, very limited supply. So you could be seeing some buying in the immediate future. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Do you own any of them? Do you think any of them are squeeze plays? One common scenario from all of them, though, shorts are very overextended through the DTC, like I mentioned. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.